Good evening, friends, and welcome to Booghy Plays. Tonight, Throne of Allegoria. I really like this title. I think it is a very good title for a board game. Well, welcome to Allegoria. Throne of Allegoria is a game from Spielworks from 2019, which, well, I have a lot of things to say, and I will say it more at the end in final thoughts. In order to see the final thoughts, you have to press the I here on the corner, and it will take you. You'll have a shortcut to final thoughts. Now, let's talk a little bit about Allegoria. Allegoria is a land. It's this land. This land is your land. This land is Allegoria's land. Well, it's English Allegoria, not American. I sang a Woody Guthrie song, so that was American. But well, bear with me. We're somewhere in England in the Middle Ages, I think. Sometimes in the Middle Ages, when Queen Gwendoline, I think that's her name, waits to die or something like that. She just waits for this to happen. We are waiting for this to happen. Maybe it won't die. Maybe she won't die. But there is a card in here which will tell us at some point that the queen is dead. But until then, well, let's hope she will be alive and kicking, because when she dies, we have to put this marker like this down. Now, what do you see here? This is the main board. On the main board, we do the main actions. These are merchants, which can help us during our merchant actions. We have here a handy-dandy player aid, which is a good player aid. It's not perfect, but it is good. And here we have the bidding spaces. This game has at its heart a bidding mechanism, a blind bidding mechanism, which is kind of fun. I think it is the fun part of the game. This is the Anarchy cubes at the end of the game, where you will lose points in the sum in an amount equal to the number of these cubes you have, multiplied by the space at which the last cube is in. For example, if all of these have disappeared and here it's also taken one cube, the value of the anarchy is -2, and you will do the math and you'll find how many minus points you have. This is the alms track, and this is the diplomacy track. Here we have a special board. Here the actions. Here is where we do some of our main actions. Here we do some other actions, which these two are a little bit of this. This work in a matter. This one work a little bit differently. Now, these are the setup is made for 2 players. It will be me, the blue player, against my trusty panda, Ramon. Hello, Ramon. He will be the house of Umbral, and I will be house Antares. I will be this octopus, and he's gonna be some birdie, dirty birdie. At the beginning, there is a little bit of setup which we must do first. At the beginning, we have 5 end game cards, claims, end game claims. These mean we have to score them. We have to keep 3, and at the end of the game, if we don't manage to do them, we will lose a number of 3 points for each card. If we don't, and I'm looking now, and I will see. I want to see how much of a combos I can do. This one says have at least 3 merchants in territories. This is not bad. I can do it. Now, this one, score at least 2 influence from at least 2 town tracks. These are the town tracks. And this one says score at least 3 influence from the trade track. So now I can, for example, I can score 2 influence from the trade track, and also I can score 3 influence from the trade, and I can do somehow I can combo these two. Yeah, I think this I'm gonna keep these 3. I'm going to discard these. Now let's see what Ramon can, and these are kept secret. We all know what's in our deck. Let's see what Ramon finds. He will say, this one says have 0 anarchy markers. That is hard to do, not easy. Some of these cards are easy, from my point of view, they are easier to do, but I think these cards will guide you somehow through your strategy. So this one says have no workforce cards in our hand and at least 1 soldier. I think this could be done. Score at least 3 influence track from knowledge track. This could be done. Have 0 anarchy. Be at the end of the diplomacy or further along. Be further along the wealth track than the trade track. So I think this one can be done. So I think he's going to get these 2, and I think he will. He's going to be the PS. Or I think he's going to take this one. Have no workforce cards in your hand. Let's try this one. These 2 go bye-bye. Like I said, if we don't score any of these, we lose 3 points. If these objectives are not met, we're going to lose points at the end of the game, which is not really cool, isn't it? Is it now? And we put them aside. These are endgame claims, like I said. These are some guilds, which are all, for all players, are the same. We have 5 guild cards, and they give us some attributes during the game, and I will show you how they work. Now, after we get the end-game claim cards, we then receive 2 I forgot how they are called. They are called Lord cards, and we have to choose. And I know that I chose these, and these says score 3 influence from the trade track. So I want as far the right as I can go on. This is the trade track. So both of these give me 2 on the trade track. Meh, not that. Have 3 merchants. So 1 4 with. I'm looking. I don't know what I want right now. If you ask me, I think I will go. These 2 aren't that different. If you do, I want to be the chevalier or do I want to be the ecclesiast? I think I'm going to be the ecclesiast. I'm going to be the ecclesiast. And I'm going to put this. This gives me 4 on the spy track, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4. This one gives me 2 on the trade track, 1, 2, 2 on the wealth track, and 2 on the that is the knowledge track, and 0 here. Good. Now I put these aside, and this one I give up on it. Goes here. Now let's see what he chooses. He says 3 influence from the knowledge track. So he wants knowledge, so he will take this one. So wealth, also wealth gives him that. But this one gives him a lot of, it doesn't matter. He's gonna use it somehow. So he will go here. He's going to be the artist of House Umbral, and I'm going to be the ecclesiast of House Antares. This game has a lot of charming features. I will give you that from the beginning. Now we have started. Also, we deal 3 workforce cards to each player. 1, 2, 3 for me. Ooh. And 1, 2, 3 for Ramon. Of course, this is hidden information. I don't know anything about it. Okay, I will keep them safely for him. Ooh, he wants the knowledge track. He got lucky. He got lucky. He got a little bit lucky. He'll go very far away on the north. So, I forgot to take all of these for him. So, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 0. So we start from here: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. 2 and 2. So we are ready to start the game. At the beginning of the game, the first thing we do at the beginning of every round, we do a decree. A decree turns out, royal decree. Buying favors. At any point during this round, each player may discard a banker or joker workforce card from their hand to move 1 space along the alms track. The alms track is in here. So we can move. At any point may discard a banker or a joker workforce card from their hand. At any point. I think I'm gonna do it. That's cool. Put this on here. Mainly, when the queen is alive, we read this part. When the queen is dead, we read this part. So, most of these cards are good, are useful, but there are some which I don't like, and they give a little bit of randomness to the game at some point, but I'll talk about this more at the final thoughts. Okay, we did this. Now we can start the round. What do? We bid. So, I'm looking at my cards, and I'm going to take this one. This is a blind bidding. So I'm looking, what do I want to do? I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put it here. Ramon is going to take this one. He's going to put it here too. Now, he doesn't know what I put there, but I cannot show you exactly how the fun works, how the fun part of this game of the blind bidding really works. I will try to make you understand how it works in the way you might think about it. Right now, at the beginning of the game, you want to do some things which are, let's say, different to each other. Now I'm looking, do I want any of these cards? When I bid here, I bid for in-game claims. That means objectives during the game. I can do them and I can score some points. So I bid here, he will bid. So now I bid again. This, it is either 1 or a 2, but I don't want to use it here. What do I need? I'm looking, I always have to think about these and have merchants in territories and have score at least 2 influence on from the trade track. So I'm looking in the trade track. Do I have anything? No. So I'm going to do this. They're not really interesting. So I will take this one and I'm going to bid. It doesn't matter where I put. There is not. You don't have to put them in some order. No, it is very important to go, because at some point it is very important to be first in some bidding spaces, in some bidding places, because if there is a tie, for example, we reveal and there is a tie, the tiebreaker is further from the left. So I will put this one here. Now I'm looking, Ramon sees this one and says, I want it. So he's gonna bid here. My turn. My turn is no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Yeah, I'm gonna put this here. I don't know what he bid there. So I'm gonna put it there. Now no, no, no. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna put this here. Now it's his turn. What does he want? So he's gonna put this one here. Why? Because he really wants this to be. And I will show you in a minute why you want to be first at any bid. You have to carefully choose your actions, because there is a payoff, a better payoff if you're first at some place. So I have to, now I can do this. I can upgrade the bid, and I will do it at, I'm saying you can put up to 3 bidding tokens on a place, on a space. So I'm thinking, oh, this is the first round, sorry. I'm thinking here it is a good place. Now, no, let's see. What does he do? He's gonna do the same. He's gonna say, these ones help you make the bid more interesting. Now, what do I want to do? I still have these 2, and usually you keep these 2 for a place where you really, not necessarily, but it is a place where you really want to go. Most of the time, you really want to go to that place, and I think I'm going to do. Yeah, I think I want to go to the trading. Yeah, I will go to the trading. So I need to have, this one says, because I need to have at least 3 merchants in territories. So it doesn't matter where. So I think I'm gonna use this one here. Now what else he wants? I think he's gonna come and he's gonna bid here. Now it is my last turn to bid. I think I'm gonna bid. This one is a 0, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna put it here. Maybe I will distract him from bidding somewhere else, because I know he still has a pawn and he might bid somewhere where I might do that, where I might need that place. So I think he will. It doesn't really matter. He knows he's a 0, so he's gonna put it here for the sake of the argument. And now, in order, we reveal. So I turn these 2. It is a 1 and a 1. So tie break is the further to the left. We put this one in our supply. So I am first, so I will draw. It shows you here. The first, in a 2-player game, the first one draw 3 keeps 1, the second one draws 2 keeps 1. So I'm going to draw 3. 1, 2. So I practically have more options. But sometimes you can be very lucky and draw better 2 cards than I do. Someone else draws 3. Sometimes it can be, yeah. So let's see for me. This one says use the recruit and attack actions at the same. No, I'm looking at this one. This one says have at least 1 merchant in your market, the central market, and an opponent's market. And this one works really well. That's why I say that sometimes it can be, you can be lucky, because this one works very well with this one, which has have at least 3 merchants in territories. And this one scores me 3 points. 3 points at the end of the game. So practically it behooves me to do this, to take this card. So these one don't really matter. I discard them from the game. And I keep this one in my hand. Nobody knows I'm having it. Yep. He has 2, and he says, have at least 1 merchant in an opponent's market. This is pretty hard to do, and the payoff is not that great. I mean, it's not very hard, but this one says, use the subterfuge action twice to decrease an opponent's intrigue and knowledge in the same. This is way harder to do. I find this harder to do than this one. Have at least 1 merchant in your market, the center market, and the opponent's market. This one, you have to take this one. For me at least, it is harder to do, because with this one you have to have 1 merchant in your market, 1 merchant in the central market here, and 1 merchant here. You just put them here and then you move them around. For this one, for using the subterfuge action twice, you have to have all of these. What you need in order to do subterfuge action, you need subterfuge. Let's see. Remove 1 spy from a tavern. If this is your first subterfuge, select 1 town track belonging. Owner that says select 1 town track belonging to the tavern owner that they must reduce 1. So you have to have 2 of your spies. These are the spies. Here he has to have 2 of his spies here to remove them from here twice in a turn. That means he has to do 2 task actions, and I will show you how hard it is to do. It is harder to do task actions because you need to be first in the round to do that. So for me, this is way faster. It's easier to do than this one, and they have the same payoff. And here are some of my. I give you some of my final thoughts during the playthrough. So he'll keep this one. I'll keep this one. Then, let's try to. We did this. We kept. Now we go to the next action. The next action, we reveal. I have a star. He has a 1. I already forgot what it is. Now, because this is a star, I can choose if it is a 1 or a 2. So I'll choose to be a 2, of course. I can choose if I can choose to be a 1, and by choosing to be a 1, if I have a guild card in here, but I don't have, or my guild cards haven't been played here yet, I didn't do that action, I can choose. I will do first the guild action, and then I will do the action where I'm at. It doesn't matter where I'm at. So I will choose to be a 2 now, and because he's the last one, he will choose where these go, and he will do this. He will put this here because he really wants it, and he's going. As you can see, these have a group of 2, a group of 2, and a group of 1, and he really wants this one, and he's gonna put this one, these 2, and these 2. So practically, he's giving me the option: either I want these or I want money. Because he really wants this one. I do not know what he wants, but out of all of these, he really wants this one. That's why he left it here alone. But sometimes you can take whatever he wants. But for me, right now, I think this. What do I need? I have something with the I have to influence from at least 2 town tracks. So I will take these two. He chooses to take this one. Why? Because I'm going to show you, he's going to use them very soon. So we have the workforce cards. Now, let's do the main actions. I look at the trade track. We turn, I'm first. I choose a 2, I'm first, I will do. Now, the first one in turn, always in a 2-player game, gets to do 2 actions, either task or this is task, this is deploy action. You can choose in whichever order, it doesn't matter. If you are the second player, you can only do deploy actions. You cannot do task actions. Even if you will get more actions, I can show you how you are able to take more actions. So you have to be very careful where you put your pawns here, your bidding pawns, let's call them like this, and because that will determine the kind of actions you are able to do. In more players, for example, if you play a 4-player game, you have 3 actions, which are deploy and task. The second player has 2 actions, and he has to choose either 2 deploy actions or 1 task actions. He has to choose. The third player, he can choose whether 1 deploy or 1 task, and the fourth player can only have 1 deploy action. The last player in 4, 3 or 2-player game always gets to do deploy actions. And I'm going to I want merchants. I know this. This says have at least 1 merchant in your market, the central market, and an opponent's market. So this is my market. Everything here is in my territory. So this is my market here. This is the central market, and this is his market. So I need to have a merchant everywhere. So these are let's say generic. They can be used as a soldier, which are these ones. They can be used as spies, which are these ones. These can be used as merchants, and are these ones. They can be used in 3 different ways. So I will deploy. So we have this, like I said, handy-dandy player, right? Which says I have the merchant action, merchant/trade, and it shows you the icon here. Deploy action, tradesman, place a merchant in your market. Discard merchant joker cards from your hand to increase your town's trade track by the total value discarded. So I will, as my, I have, like I said, I have 2 actions, either deploy, either task. So the first action I'm going to do a deploy. I'm going to put 1 here. I'm going to discard a number of cards. I can discard as many. I only have this one, which is 3. And I will grow up with 3 on this track. 1, 2, 3. I will discard this one. Let's discard it here. Okay. Now, I did 1 action. Now I will do the second one. The second one, I can either move my merchant to somewhere else, but I will choose to do another deploy. So I will deploy once more, one more. I'm going to deploy it here. Then I don't have any more cards to play. You play the cards on the first deploy action. Then I can have the possibility to do more actions, and I can do that by supplementing the action points. How do I supplement the action? Simple. I go back once here, and I can have 1 more action. And if I go back once more after this sign, I can take 1 more action, but then I have to stop as soon as you pass this this sign. You have to stop. So I was here. So practically I can take 2 actions, but once I passed this sign, I need to take an anarchy. I need to. I am forced to take an anarchy. Now I am here. I'm trying to think. Do I need to do a fourth actions this turn, or so I'll try to do them. I'll go one more, and I will move this one here, and then I will do one more action, and I'm going to put this one here, and I will take an anarchy marker. That's a -1 point, and I will put it here. Let me put it, where do I need to put it? I have a special place here on my player board. Minus, you need to count them, like I said, at the end of the game. Now, I did four actions. No, I need 3 actions. I need to do one more action. And my fourth action is I'm going to move again. I'm going to move again. I'm going to go here. Now, I could have taken a task action. The task action is commerce. The commerce says remove 1 merchant from a market. Either decrease your trade track and increase your wealth track, or decrease your wealth track and increase your trade track. So practically, what do you do when you take, for example, if you take from the central market? I could have done this. I could have taken him from the central market, put him back here. I can decrease this one and increase this one, or vice versa, this one and decrease this one. I hope you understood what I said. Let me see. It's a 1, 2. No, I start with 2. Yeah, okay. So I was here. I can do that. Also says, if trading in an opponent's market, then increase whatever you decreased by the corresponding amounts. For example, if I am here in his market, I can take this one, and then I decrease and increase. I look at this card. I can decrease 1 and increase 3. I make a special commerce action. I have a special trader in the other markets, and this one is for every round of the game there'll be a different trader here. So I decrease 1 and increase 3. So that's why it's lucrative to be somewhere in someone else's market. It's very lucrative because you decrease 1 on wealth and you increase 3 on trade, or decrease. This is not that cool. This is not. Or if you're here, you can do something else. You can decrease 1 in wealth, for example, and then get 3 points. And these 3 points are very, very good. So you take them and you put them in your supply. This is the task action. I didn't do the task action. I just did the deploy and move. Phew! I hope you understood the explanation. Now, let's go to the next. I resolved my actions. Practically, I'm looking at this one, which says have at least 1 merchant in your market. I have 1 in my market. I have 1 in the central market, which is in here, and which is here, the central market, and an opponent's market. So practically, I have 1 in my opponents. I need 1 in mine. I need 1 more here to be able to do this card and score 3 points at the end of the game. So, whew. Now, I'm thinking. I know I cannot do right now many more actions, but I can do it next turn, and next turn I can score the score. I can score it. I don't instantly score it. I score it at the end of the game, but I put it like this, and I said I did it. So right now, I'm thinking. I have to do this first in order to think more. So now he looks at this one. This one doesn't matter. And he'll choose this to be a 2. Why? Because he wants to be first and do many more actions than I do. So when you do the banker or wealth actions, discard banker joker cards from a card. There are in the workforce are joker cards which can be used as whatever you want. And to increase your town's wealth. Also, you can do a deploy action, which is wages, which lets you do the second deploy action on the soldier, which means move, and again the sneak, the advance, the sneak, that's the second deploy action of the other three tracks. From the soldier strength, from the first 3 actions. You can do, like I said, you can do advance, sneak, or caravan. You can move, practically you can move your meeples around by using the banker wealth. It gives you the possibility to move a meeple if it's a soldier or spy or a merchant. Practically, it gives you the possibility to do an action on the other one of the actions from the actions prior to the one you're doing, prior to the banker. I hope it's you understood it. Phew, sorry for over explaining, but I hope this is, you better get a feel of the rules. Now, what does he want to do? This is my main question. Phew, I feed it up with all this explaining. I'm looking. I think he will want to discard. He will discard these banker cards, these 2 banker cards, and he will go 1, 2 here. He discards it. Then this is his first action. Like I said, he has 2 actions, either task, either. And the second one, he says spend 1 additional action point to total. So he will need to have to act. He only has 1 action point right now. So he will need to have 2. In order to have 2, he will have to come here. And that only gives him only 1 extra action point. Unfortunately, if he had at least one more workforce card, he would have been able to do 2 actions. He only can have, once you pass this sign, you cannot go further back. You have to take 1 anarchy, and that's the maximum number of supplemental actions he can do. So he will come here, he will take an intrigue. I mean, why not? They're cheap right now. And he has 2 actions, 2 task actions, and he will look through his guild cards, and which are practically the same for all of us. And I think he will use the Scholar Guild, which says draw workforce cards equal to the number of players plus 1 and secretly take 1. This is one of the best guild cards that exists in the game, and I would have liked more. I think I would have liked more guild cards. Okay, and I'm going to put it here. And practically, this is a way you can make yourself different from somebody else. But somebody else may also can use this Scholar Guild. I think it would have been interesting to see maybe asymmetrical cards or maybe more cards. 5 cards are not as many as I would have liked. Good. So he did this. He used his action points. He took his anarchy. We're finished here. We're done. Let's turn the last one. He will do this action. He has again 2 actions. Everything. Discard Scholar Joker / Joker cards from your hand to increase your town knowledge track by the value discarded. And he has now 3 plus 2, 4, that is a 7. He will discard them, and he will go 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Woohoo! He is far away. So at the end of the game, these mean points. So you can have this strategy to go with all of them up until the end of the game. Okay. Now, I'm thinking, it's always good to think. He has one more action. So he needs to do what? He needs to use the subterfuge action. Nah, doesn't really help him. So what he can do alms, advance. He will do this one. And apparently it says alms for the poor. So he takes for one action. He will move this one here. He took his one task action, and I think he will go once more. And he will do one more task action. He will move it here. Why? Because this one says +1, and he will move one more. And I don't know. I think he will go once more because he wants. Once you take advance one space on the alms track, once you do this, you can take one anarchy and put it back, and you put it back where it belongs. So, and I'm thinking he wants to take one more. Why? Because he will go once more. He needs to take one anarchy to do this, but at the end of the game, at the end of the turn, he puts it back at the end of its action because you may return one of your anarchy. He took one and he returned it right away. And this one gives him the possibility to move up once here. Oh, that gave him a very powerful turn. Very powerful turn. At the end of the game, every card, every in-game, every blue card, every in-game claim card, it will be multiplied by this, and it will give him a number of points. So this is a way to make points. If he does this right now here, for me, if I only do this, I only get these points, these 3 points, if I don't move further along the diplomacy track. So I need to move along on the diplomacy track. Also, at the end of the game, if he manages to reach this space on the alms track, he will receive 5 points. Phew. Now, we finished. Everybody finished their turns, their actions. So we take our bidding tokens. Pum, 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 pum. Oh, give me back this one. Okay, now let's try to play one more fast round. I will try to go faster. So I will try to do the bidding without you seeing what I'm doing. So I'll try not to show you what I'm doing. So I'll be like this. So now I know what he wants to do. I know what, and I think because I was first here. This has a 1 here. This one says which is the first player, which takes the first player token, which is this one. So whoever is going to be first in the in-game claims action part. Spaces, let's call them action spaces, is going to be the first player next round. Now, let me think fast, the bidding, where everything goes. that. Oh, first these ones go away. Sorry, we have to do this. At the end of the round, we have to do this. At the beginning of the next round, we have to do a cleanup. Go here, and then, sorry, this one moves away. This one goes. Another trader comes. Oh, this is a good one. This gives you 5. If you trade in somewhere, if I trade here, I'll manage to get 5 points, which is good. At second round, and the first thing we do the roll. Oh, this one says at any time, player may discard a joker, a banker, or a joker workforce. I had a banker, so I will discard them. I will do that now, and I go back up on the arms track. 1, and I think he could have done that too. I don't know. Maybe he could have done it too, and I think he would have done it. Anyways, next decree. Royal decree. Spy hunted appointed. All infiltrate actions taken this round may deploy spies directly to the central tavern. This is cool. I like it. This one changes a bit because he has this. The first thing he's going to do, he's going to do this. He wants to do this as many actions possible as he can do. This helps him. This helps him with this one. This helps him. But like I said, now this one becomes a little bit easier. But it needed this. That's why I say it is a little bit of a bit of randomness, a little bit, because with this one becomes easier. And I'll show you how right now. I did that. Now, okay, I will come here. He will come, whatever. What else? He has to look. You always have to look through your cards. Knowledge track. So right now he's at 2 in the knowledge track. He needs to score at least 3 at the end. So he will do this. He will come here, and I will. Do I want those or I want something else? I will come here. I think he will. As many of the can possibly need, and I think I will do some knowledge actions also. I'm gonna come here. I think he will, in case, no. I think, okay. He'll come here. And then I will come here, and then he comes here, and then I will come here, and then he will come here. And let's see. I don't even know what happened. Now let me show you what happened. So let's start with this one. He did the two zeros. I did the 1. So these one go bye-bye. I come here. This one says, so I draw 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. The aggressor have at least a soldier, and then have the spies guild on your town board. So I need to have the spies guild and the merchant guild. I don't know if I wanna. It needs for these two to be the spies guilds. I need to put them here: the spies guild and the merchant guild. Or be scoring these 2 influence on the wealth track and have at least 4 soldiers in territories. I mean, to influence on the wealth. On the wealth, it needs to be here. I don't like any of them. I will have this one, even if it's 1 point. I'll have at least one soldier in any opponent's bet. No, I don't like this. I think I'm gonna have this one. I'm not very happy with these. I am just not. Well, yeah, I'm not very happy with these. But it is what it is. I will try to do this one, which is not that hard. I mean, I don't know if it suits me to have the Spice Guild. The Merchant Guild is good, but the Spice Guild, I don't know. But we'll see what we can do. Now, let's turn this one around. He will choose practically 2 cards because so he'll take this one and this one. This one go bye-bye from the game. Not necessarily from the game. If you ran out of these, you shuffle all of these and you put them here. Now, let's see what else we can do. So, we go here. Ooh. He really wanted to do this action. He really wanted to do this action. Now, what can I say is I did not do the bidding in like I would do it normally in a 2-player game, which is so different without the other player, without you not knowing what the other player, where he's going to go. It is different, but I hope you understand how the bidding works. I don't think I can show you perfectly how the tension is, because this is the fun part of the game. Not the more, I mean, it is a lot of fun, this part in the game, and the game is charming, and I love the way it looks. Now, question: what does he do? He will do this. He wants to do this. Use the subterfuge action twice to decrease an opponent's intrigue and knowledge in the same turn. So he will want to first. He will. He has 2 actions. Yeah, it could have been smarter to do it somewhere differently. But if he would have used the star here, he could have chosen the 1 and then used this action, because using the star gets you the opportunity to do if you put this, you bid with the star and you choose to be a 1, you can also do one of these actions, and he could have done the Scholars Guild. Why? Because in order for you to move a bigger a bigger number of meeples from one place to another, you need to be on a certain space on this track. So he needs to be here in order to, I think it was here. No, he started with 2. 1, 2. You need to be here to move 2 of them. So he cannot do it this round, but he will try to be as fast as he can. He will try to do as many actions as he can. So he will deploy once, twice. He will deploy twice here. So that's 2 actions. Because this round, all infiltrate actions, which is this action, deploy action, infiltrate in the spy intrigue, infiltrate. So he infiltrates, so he deploys 2 here. Now he will want to move. In order to move he cannot move both of them. He can only move 1. He could have moved both of them if his marker was here, because this shows how many meeples he can move from one place to another. So does he move them right now? Or does he's going to take an anarchy and move one? Yeah, I think he will. I think he will take that juicy anarchy. He will move one into my in order to do the subterfuge, in order to decrease some of my tracks, he needs to do the subterfuge here. This is the interaction between players. This is the way you can also raid someone. So you can also have an attack. I rarely do attacks in a two-player game. Rarely do attacks. You have here how you do the attack task action, the raid or the battle. I rarely do this. So that's all he could do. That's all he could do, unfortunately. I think next round he'll be able to do this, but he also needs to be first there. Now let's see the trade. Oh, I really wanted to trade. As you can see, I went for a 2. So, in the trade action, I will do this. I will, as an action, I will move this one. As the second action, I will deploy this one. I will say, have at least one merchant in your market, the central's market, and an opponent's market. I have them. I have them. I don't have any workforce cards in order to play them when I deployed. So that's life. Whenever you deploy, like I said, you can use these workforce cards. But I did this, and that gives me 3 points at the end of the game. Now I have to be a little bit up on this one. And in order to do that, you have to do a subterfuge. When you do the that's why you need to do the subterfuge. That's why also he wanted to do the subterfuge, because if he does 2 subterfuge actions, remove 1 spy from it is the first. Now that I think about it, yeah, it is harder to do this one. But when you do the subterfuge action, you also grow up on this track, so it's more points. Yeah, it is harder, but it's not. It is harder, but it gives you more points at the end of the game. Now that I think about it, now I realize it. This one, now I see it. Why? I have at least one merchant. I can also do, because where am I? I'm here. I will do one more. I will supplement. I will take on Anarchy. Oh, not here. Mine. So I can go one back. I can take an Anarchy. I don't need to take an Anarchy. I will do a task action. The task action is this one. Where are you? Commerce. Remove one merchant from a market. Either decrease if... No, we have to look here. If trading in an opponent's market, which I can do here, they increase whatever you decreased by the corresponding amount, and you may take influence instead of increasing your town track. Take one Anarchy Market to trade in your own market. We don't trade in our own markets. We trade in here. So we take this one from here. I will decrease my wealth in order to take 5 points, and I will decrease my wealth. When you just decrease your tax for other different reasons than supplementing actions, in that moment you do not take Anarchy. So right now I'm looking, I have to say, so I did this, I have to take the 5 points. I have 5 points at the end of the game, which is good. Now, I decrease by 1, he increases his wealth track by 1. Like this one says here, if trading in an opponent's market, they increase whatever it decreased by the corresponding amount, and you may take influence instead of increasing your town track. So it shows you, hop, hop, this you decrease, this you increase. And here you can take either 5 trading or 5 points. And I chose the points because, man, this was a good return. Sometimes I find there is a way to make points. I think there are lots of ways to make points by using raids, but I'm just not a fan of attacking, so I try to find other ways, and the game gives you other ways to do that. Now we have finished this one. We can turn this on. Let's see. 1 and the 1. Ooh, we both went here. So, but I will do both actions. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look at my card, which says have the Spice Guild and the Merchant Guilds build on your town wards, and I'm going to build. I'm going to take the task action first, spend 1 additional points, and that is 2 total. I'm going to spend both of my action points to build the Merchants Guild. To put the Merchants Guild. The Merchants Guild says, put it here, increase your trade and knowledge by 1. I will increase my trade here and my knowledge by 1 here. The question is, do I want to do anything else? Do I want to discard Banker? And I think I want to discard Banker Joker cards. Yes, I will decrease this one here, and I will have one more action which helps me spend 3, and 1, 2, 3 go here. And those are my actions. What does he do? He can, I think he will spend, he can only take 1 action because he's the second, and he can only do deploy action. So he will take, he will spend these 3, and he will go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Done. He already has 4 points from here, 2 points from here. I think it's pretty good. He can go further along these tracks. Oh, and then that's what he does. Then let's see, what is this one? Ooh. How? Now we both have to choose if this is I forgot if it is a 1 or a 2, and I think I want it to be a 1, and he says he's going. Oh no, does he want it to be a 1? No, I want it to be a 2. I'm sure, because I want to be first, and I will be a 1. It will be it will be a 2. He says fine, mine is going to be a 1, and because it is a 1, he's able to take to use a guild card, and he's going to use the Scholars Guild. He says draw orc force equal to the number of pairs plus 1. So he draws 3. 1, 2, 3. He chooses what he keeps. He wanted some of these, but he will keep this one. And then, of course, he looks at them in secret, and then he lays them here, and all other players can choose for spending 1 wealth. They can take a card from the pool from whatever it remains here. I don't want any of these, although it's just not practically. I have to give up a wealth. He will take a wealth. That wealth, for example, I give up my wealth. Now let's do it. He will take a wealth here, and I can choose this card, for example. I put it here. Let's take it to show you how it works. Now we do the actions. And why? Because I wanted to do the alms track. So I would go once for an action point. This one takes me one further. Then I will do my second action. I take 2 task actions, 2 alms, and this gives me 1 here also. So I have 1 point at the end of the game, and if I am able to have the Spice Guild, that's 2 points at the end of the game. If I go here, that's gonna be 4 points. In order to grow up on this track, you need to do the subterfuge actions, which he wants to do. You have to remove 1 spy from a tavern. So these are the taverns. My tavern, the central tavern, and his tavern. Oh, he wants to be in my tavern. Sorry. I don't know why I put him in his. Mine. And this is the game. Phew, my brain hurts a little bit. This is Throne of Allegoria. Let's talk a little bit more about the game in the final thoughts. Like I said, for the final thoughts, hit the eye. It's going to be a different video, but there is a shortcut there or in the show notes. Alms for the poor.